welcome once again to Rallycross on Screen Sport. Today you join us at Nuts Corner in Northern Ireland for round 3 of the British National Championship. I'm Arthur Debenham. With me here, my colleague Alan Smallman. And Alan, there we have the points after 2 rounds. Steve Palmer nicely in the lead overall.
And Trevor Hopkins is not here in Ireland this weekend on 31, lying second. Michael Shield not contending the championship after 1 round, only on 25 points, lying third. And Barry Skibb, 25 points, who is here this weekend, lying fourth.
Yes, Barry, I think, is going to be in good form here this weekend. There we see Dermot Carnegie's car number 2. But coming up for a qualifying heat here, away from Mark Flatty, the Englishman with the Irish name. But there's the car many people have come to see. Will Gollop, debuting the new bi-turbo 600 brake horsepower Metro 6R4. He is joined on the right of your screen there by John Maloney. We see a quick shot of Will from inside the cockpit as we get this one underway. And the early leader is Irishman Aidan Cregan. Aidan Cregan, Mark Flatty getting caught out in the first corner there as they come through the Vauxhall complex. Very tight and twisty section here at Nuts Corner. It is, there you see the Mondial champion, John Maloney, but Will Gollop now into the lead. Will Gollop through and into the lead. Will Gollop leading this qualifying heat then. Will through Paddock Bend and down into Belfast Ferries corner, that long right-hander. Away they go. John Maloney there in third spot now. There comes Will Gollop. Will coming back through, still holding a comfortable lead now over Aidan Cregan in second place. Aidan now being pressurised by John Maloney, the man from Limerick. Those two, perhaps not the closest of friends, it has to be said. They've had some fairly close battles on the circuits, but Will Gollop giving this new bi-turbo 6R4 a very good debut indeed. Aidan still holding that second place from John Maloney. The 3 6R4s there, first, second and third. There comes Rob Moffat, newcomer to the ranks of the 6R4 brigade, another man from Ireland. But there we have Will Gollop coming through then. A good debut, Alan, for the new car.
I think so. In fact, the bi-turbo looking really, really well on this tight circuit.
Yes, and of course, Will over here to get the car some miles under its wheels before taking it into the European Championship, which starts later on in April. There you can see a battle going on with, once again, Maloney trying to find a way past Aidan Cregan. Aidan closing the door on him there as they go through the chicane on the loose, back up onto the tarmac and up into this Vauxhall complex, this tight complex of corners here at the top of the Nuts Corner venue. Owned by Antrim Borough Council, who together with the Lawn Motor Club are putting on a really excellent day's entertainment here for this good-sized crowd. And there is one of the big battles in this race between the man from Limerick and Aidan Cregan. Still, we can see the Dynetics car there in the fourth spot as we come through. Aidan Cregan losing that third place, or Aidan dropping down to third place, I should say, on their last lap now. And it is indeed now John Maloney getting away, but certainly nowhere near this man, Will Gollop, and Will Gollop it is, on his way to a pretty certain victory here in this qualifying heat. Will Gollop coming through then. And there we see Will through the complex. Series of right and left hand flicks. Leaving behind him a pretty large dust cloud before the arrival of John Maloney. Aidan Cregan still tucked in behind John there. With Rob Moffat just appearing in car number 14. As he comes through in fourth place. There's the checkered flag for the driver in fourth place, Mark Flatty just behind him, as we move now to Formula B. Formula B cars coming onto the line, and these cars, of course, headed on the grid by 101, Brian Bettridge. Brian making a good start there, one of the 3 leading drivers over from England here today in this one. Slotting into second place is Clive Richardson, the very fast ex-hot rodder here from Northern Ireland with his new rear-wheel drive Fiesta. In third place, it's the John Rowlands. Then comes Bill Parker with that Ford-powered Toyota Starlet. 42 is Stephen Perry, beg his pardon, Stephen Perry there. But up front, it is a battle between Northern Ireland and the Midlands, because Staffordshire driver 101, Brian Bedridge, away in the lead. Looks like Brian's in good form, Alan, doesn't it?
I think so. Brian going well in the championship this year, and that car really suited, I think, to this tight circuit here at Nuts Corner. But nothing away from Clive Richardson, in fact, because in practice this morning, very, very quick, and obviously his home circuit as well.
Yes, and he's been very quick in a Mark III Ford Escort rear-wheel drive, but now switching to this new Fiesta and hanging on there. Well, losing a bit of understeer there and getting rather crossed up, losing a bit of ground on Brian Bettridge, but Brian driving very well there with the Roy Millington powered car, pulling away from Clive Richardson. Third place is still John Rowlands. Bill Barker snarling at his heels with that very purposeful looking Toyota Starlet. That's an ex-hot rod car which goes through into third place now. Bill Barker up into third place, the lad from Omar, former rally driver. It's a Pinto powered Toyota Starlet and a very quick car indeed, but of course giving away power to the likes of the BDG in this man's car, Brian Bettridge. Brian it is picking his way through the twists and turns at the top of the Nuts Corner venue here. Nuts Corner, very close to the airport here at Alder Grove, and in fact this is on the site of the former international airport here in Northern Ireland, and they're being turned into a very, very good motorsporting venue by the local council and Lawn Motor Club, going on a good event here, but there's troubles for John Rowlands, I think, that is pulling off there, and a fire on board John Rowlands' car. John getting out of the car now. I certainly saw a lick of flame, Alan.
I certainly did. In fact, came round there, I think he obviously hit the tyres, which has loosened something in the car, and I would say oil pipe perhaps, or even fuel pipe, in fact, but the marshals there getting to work instantly. Very, very efficient, the Lawn Motor Club here with their marshals, as we look now to the leader, Brian Bettridge, Arthur.
Yes, on the last lap, and once again Clive Richardson's closed in again. Clive Richardson going very well here, using his local knowledge to very good effect. They go past the abandoned car of John Rowlands, and Clive Richardson closing right in as they come towards the flag. But no, he's not going to do it, and it is Brian Bettridge by the shortest of margins, just holding him off in this classic battle here in the Formula B category, the two-wheel drive cars over 1600 cc's, and it is Brian Bettridge leading that one home from Clive Richardson. So Brian will be very pleased about that. Late starter in the championship, Dynetics sponsoring him today. As we can see, the Dogcrest Homes entry of John Rowlands being pushed away there. Swift action by the marshals. Word of praise to the marshals, Alan, once again. Wherever we go, it's good, isn't it?
Excellent. Rallycross, of course, being, shall we say, fairly fraught and very, very quick fire. Marshals always ready instantly on site should anything happen on the circuit.
Yes, and on the circuit now we turn to Formula C and obligingly open the door there so we can see who it is. There's the face of Roy Clark, number 17. That's Ian Ray from up at Berwick. 45, Ian Samwith. He could be the man to watch in this one with the green and white mini spares car. But once again, it's Roy Boy Clark from Aberfordnear leads away into the lead. And we can see that Derek Jobb in third place. Another one of these very quick Northern Ireland drivers. Derek, who we've seen over in England a few times at the Croft circuit. He's in third place. There's Ian Ray in fourth. Ian having his first full season in the British National Series. But it's Roy Clark. Roy Clark, number 17, backed once again by Dynetics, green and white mini spares entry of Ian Samwith there in second place. Ian Samwith, you'll recall, was very competitive at Brands Hatch during qualifying, equalled the times in round two of no less person than John Milner, and will be one of the drivers we're looking to perhaps challenge John Milner in this Formula C battle here today. But these are the small cars, of course, the up to 1600cc machines, and we can see that we do indeed have a good battle on our hands here. The car in third place is indeed, I'm sure that's Derek Jobb, but he in fact is a Formula B car. Car number 30, I think that there, Derek Jobb in third place. Yes, it is Derek Jobb. Runs the motor spares business over here. He's in the Formula B, so he's not really fighting against two cars in front who are actually leading this race, the smaller cars, and it's still Roy Clark. We hope we should be seeing Roy's old car over here in Ireland, because young Lloyd Spendlow from down in County Wicklow has now got that car, and I think he's going to feature quite well if he can just get the money together to do this series. It would be good to see him doing it, but meantime it's still Roy Boy hanging on there, and amazingly, Alan, these two smaller cars leading the more powerful Formula B.
It's quite surprising, in fact, how nippy the minis have always been in Rallycross, and they're still about, they're still competitive as well.
They are indeed, and on a tight, twisty circuit like this one here at Nuts Corner, and you can see there the turns making Ian go up on two wheels as he tries to claw his way close enough to challenge Roy Clark, but Roy, very experienced campaigner, keeping the racing line, not giving Sandy any room to manoeuvre, and Ian Samwith hounding him all the way through here at the moment. Ian Samwith looking for that opening, which Roy Clark flatly refuses to give him. On their way then, you can see that Derek Jobb is putting up a old dust cloud there in third place, but the leader now on his last lap, and we've lost Ian Samwith. Ian Samwith is gone. It's Derek Jobb up into second place on the road. There is Ian Samwith pushing his car away. Ian Samwith from Durham as Roy Boy comes on his way. Mini that he purchased earlier this year, which he's fully rebuilt and looking very competitive in it once again. Derek Jobb coming along in second spot now, but it's Roy Clark coming away, and there's the checker flag. Roy Clark wins this one from Irishman Derek Jobb. Third place goes to Ian Ray, and one of his best results so far. And as we continue the qualifying, we stay in the Formula C category. The smaller cars, they're coming onto the line. That's an interesting one. That's Mark Proctor, number 23. Mark, who's the son of Tony, was third in Formula C in the British Championship. He brought the car over, Alan, to try and sell it this weekend.
I know, yes. Awful to see the fact that the sales side on the very competitive over of young Mark Proctor, and a great shame that he can't continue his racing after this.
It is. Well, a lot of cars that have done well in the British Championship do tend to find a home over here in Northern Ireland, and that's what he's trying to do, and he's making a good job of it here at the moment as he comes away in the lead. Leading, I think, Joe McAteer there in, there goes 182 through. That's Alan Eadie, one of the Irish lads, but it is indeed Mark Proctor who's had his fair share of problems this weekend, and indeed they were taking the cylinder head off in the hotel car park this morning, would you believe, and some very obliging and hospitable people there from Northern Ireland took it down into Belfast, and they planed the cylinder head this morning. It was a walk head, it was pressurising the water system, and though Mark, we can see, blowing a bit of smoke haze here, but doesn't seem to be causing him too many problems. His near neighbour and close friend moving in there in second place, that's Steve Fogg, comes from Malton in North Yorkshire, so the two Novas from Yorkshire, 1-2. I think we've still got Joe McAteer in third spot. Joe McAteer will just pick him up. Yes, it is Joe McAteer. There's 62 in fourth place. That's Willie McVicker, who tells us that rallycrossing for him is a hobby. He's a great rally man, lover of rallying, and picking up a few rallycross meetings to fill in his motorsporting career, as Mark Proctor, with a bit of understeer there, goes on his way, still holding the advantage. Mark Proctor then coming away out of Belfast Ferries corner and away up over what is the actual start line, where they then flick right, go into the chicane, which is the part of the circuit they don't use on the first lap. He comes away back onto the tarmac once again, up the hill here to the complex in front of the hospitality units, because this is the Vauxhall Dealer Sport Day here in Northern Ireland, and they'll be delighted, I'm sure, to see a couple of Vauxhall Novas leading this one, as a bit of contact there between Willie McVicker and Joe McAteer, and that's put Lloyd Spendlow through. That's the man I was telling you about earlier with the ex-Roy Clark car. He goes through. Joe McAteer rejoins, but Willie McVicker well and truly out of this race with the Talbot Samba. Willie McVicker out, although he is going to rejoin, but he's a long way down. Effectively out, because remember, in qualifying, in Rallycross, you're racing very much against the clock and using all of the track and a little bit more. That characteristic bonnet flap, which has long been a part of Mark Proctor's Vauxhall Nova, comes on its way. Just a hot oil haze coming from the back. I would think that's a bit of an oil leak onto the exhaust, not causing him any great problems. Still Steve Bogg, though, 190, can't find a way through. And Steve's brother Andy, in fact, is a mechanic with the, would you believe, with the Mark Proctor team, Alan. So,
right, yes.
A nice bit of
total family involvement in this sport, as always.
And the checkered flag there, you'll see for Mark Proctor, as Joe McAteer recovers, and oh dear, in his haste to get as quickly to the flag as he can, number 63, the builder from Dromara, Joe McAteer has rolled that one well and truly comprehensively rolling it, but it was at the last lap, so I don't think there'll be any red flag situation, but it's good to see Joe getting out of the car, and it would appear to be okay. As ever, the very efficient marshals from the Larne Motor Club quickly in action here. A good-sized crowd, Alan, and lovely weather once again.
Well, as I say, once again, we made to feel so welcome by the Larne Motor Club as we watch number 63, Joe McAteer, effectively rolling his Mini. Very effectively there. A great shame for the man. Very worthwhile competitor here in Ireland, of course. And what a great shame on the last lap for the first qualifier here, for Joe to actually do it for the Mini.
Yeah, if there's been any slight criticism of this event, it's been from one or two of the drivers at that complex at the top. It's a little bit too tight.
Yeah, perhaps they're also coming off onto the loose as well, which of course, when the wheels lose grip, then they grip again. After the Nova Challenge, I think, for the first time.
And getting some grip off the start line is the current leader of the Nova Challenge, which of course makes its first visit to Ireland here today at the Nuts Corner venue, and surprise, surprise, Ian Evans, Alan, rushing away into the lead.
Once again, have we seen this before or not? We think we have. 35 Ian Evans in the lead with the celebrity car driven today, number 91, by David Metcalf, the Vauxhall rally driver, of course, who's used to driving in this same car, or similar car, but in rallies.
That's right, and he really causes a fright for the fast boys in rallying with his Group A car. He's here with the Nova Challenge car today. This is the car, of course, that is prepared by John Welch, and in our competition that we're running in conjunction with this series of televised coverage of the British National Series, you might well find yourself to drive from this one later this year. So keep watching and keep spectating and keep enjoying yourself. But at the moment, 91, Dave Metcalf, try as he may, and you can see from the two-wheeling actions that he really is trying. Cannot get on terms at the moment with the Basil Thomas entry. That's the lad from down at Hereford, near Ross-on-Wye, near Hereford. There comes Susie Browse through with the Texaco entry. And of course, one thing that these cars all have in common, Alan, is they've all got a mandatory tyre wear. They're all on Avens.
That's right, and they're absolutely, well, to say they're virtually exactly the same as each other, so it's all down to driver skill. And look at the skills of the two leaders. David Metcalf and Ian Evans, I think we're in for a fair old scrap this meeting.
We are indeed, and of course Ian Evans comes to the world of rallycross from rallying, where he himself was a competitor in the now no longer held Vauxhall Nova Rally Challenge. And of course Vauxhall bringing their involvement now into rallycross, and it's good to see Ian Evans going so well, freewheeling it there up into the complex in front of the hospitality unit as we see Metcalf coming through. Dave Metcalf very determined to look at his face there, but try as he may, he's still found his match here at the moment in the shape of Ian Evans.
The two-wheel antics of all these cars, in fact, inherent in the fact that the suspension modifications are limited. So it is all really down to driver's skill, and how fast can you take and hurl into the corner, old son?
Yes, indeed. And still comes into it. And as we come towards the conclusion of our first part of our transmission here today from Northern Ireland, you can see indeed that Ian Evans it is. Ian Evans coming through. And Ian Evans is going to be the man who I think is going to take a relatively comfortable victory, perhaps more comfortable than he would have thought, with David Metcalf home in second spot. David Metcalf through there in second place then. So David, a good result for him in the celebrity car.
Into the screen sport competition, you could be racing a car like this.
Okay, welcome back to Nuts Corner, and we start the finals with the C final of Formula C. The C final of Formula C, Roy Clark coming away from pole position there. Let's see who picks up the lead, and it is Roy Clark, and it is indeed his former car, as I told you about earlier. Lloyd Spenlove into second place. Remember, the winner of this one through into the B final, and of course the winner of the B final into the all-important A final, maximum points in the British Championship. There's car number 90, Chris Bellamy from Lincoln with his Fiesta. But up front it is indeed a battle between the two Roy Clark cars. His new car, the Dynamic sponsored white Mini there, number 17, and behind him the Carlsberg green Metro of the chef from County Wicklow, young Lloyd Spenlove, one of the brightest stars on the Irish Rally Cross front. And Lloyd it is looking for an opening to try and find a way through. Hasn't found it as yet. Tucks in behind Roy Boy Clark as they come away through the twists and turns of this very tight Nuts Corner first circuit. There is car number 193, Henry Stewart in third place. Henry, one of the top and most experienced of drivers in minis here in the north of Ireland, really presses on very, very hard indeed. And we can see that he and fellow Northern Ireland compatriot there in front of Chris Bellamy. But Roy Clark coming away very, very fast indeed. Car number 17, still Lloyd Spenlove looking for a lead through. I believe, Alan, earlier today you were asking me who I thought the top boy was in Formula C in Ireland.
I was, yes, I was indeed. And you did in fact mention that Lloyd Spenlove, and I had a chat to him this morning. What a nice guy.
He is a lovely lad. He is indeed, and he drives pretty quick too. We're hoping maybe we can get him over to Lytton Hill in July for the two-wheel drive Super Prix. Now he wants to come, and he's certainly turning in a good drive here. But look at Henry Stewart in third spot, and we've got Chris Bellamy in troubles there as the Corbin Samba of Dave Knowles goes through. So Chris Bellamy in trouble, spinning away what was a fairly good and strong midfield place. There's 56 going through. But that's Jack Shield from Comber here in Northern Ireland, and he's putting a lot of pressure now on Henry Stewart for third place, but a terrific scrap still going on for the lead in this first of the finals, the C final for the smaller Formula C cars. Winner onto the back row of the B final, and who that will be still very open to dispute at the moment, because from the camera angle here it looks as though we're getting four cars coming in for this scrap for the lead, but it's still Roy Boy in front, Roy Clark away in the lead, sales rep from Aberford near Leeds, Roy Clark leading, ex-autocross are leading the man from County Wicklow, and it is still Lloyd Spenlove hanging on to that second place. Lloyd about to be challenged now for it though by Stewart, Henry Stewart coming in to have a look, but Henry, the car in front hasn't been able to find a way through, and although it's very, very close, the order's still the same as they go away into another lap, and Spenlove again getting alongside Roy Boy, but can't do it as they come into Belfast Ferry's corner there, going round that long right-hander on the loose, where they drop down, then come back to the left and right-hand flick that brings them back onto the tarmac and up towards the finish line, or up towards the start line, I should say, to come along. 3.5, 4.5 lap heats here and finals, and they do an extra half lap. That was the finish line area there. They flick left into the, that was the start line I should have said. They flick left into the chicane, up the hill, into the complex. Now And when they go down the far side of the circuit, that will be where the checkered flag will greet them. And who's going to get there first? And it does indeed look like 17, Roy Clark, who's going to come through and take the closest to victories here from 51, Lloyd Spendlove, with Stewart coming in to have a look. Jack Shields is there as well, but that's the order that they finish. And it is Roy Clark, number 17, who'll go on to the back row of the grid. But a good race there once again, Alan, from young Lloyd Spendlove.
I think the young man, we're delighted to see him back over across the England together there, I think.
Yeah, he came over for the Grand Prix last year, but he didn't see very much. Not as any of us. We go to the big boys now, the Formula A cars, the flame-spitting turbos go away in this, the B final for Formula A. And there we have a couple of Irish champions up front, and it is Dermot Carnegie, the Dubliner, who is the Kirkstown Winter Series champion. As we can see, Aidan Cregan in trouble. Aidan Cregan, I think, has been put into the tyres.
He's lost on the tyres as well, Arthur.
Yeah, I think he is. When there's Gary Baker and Mick Quaife coming through. Davy Francis with that very fast two-wheel drive car. As you can see, Mick Quaife blowing out puffs of smoke there. It's Dermot Carnegie in the lead. Dermot Carnegie leading from the lad from Limerick, the Mondello Park champion, John Maloney. So it's the two lads from the south of Ireland and respective champions at Kirkstown and Mondello Park in first and second places, with Gary Baker up into third spot. And the red flag, is that gentleman waving the red flag? I think he was.
It's a rerun.
A most unusual way of waving a flag I think I've ever seen. Apologies about that,
yes.
but well, that must be the Irish way of waving the red flag. No, we know, but it makes a little change up front. We have got a rerun. I think Aidan is back with us again. Yes, he is there. I think in third spot, but it is Gary Baker we watch there through the complex. Gary having a troubled weekend. They can't get the turbo boost to remain constant on the RS200. 1 minute is up, 1 minute is down. Very, very difficult to drive a car like that, but you can see Dermot Carnegie having a little bit of an argument with the scenery there, but he's under a lot of pressure from John Maloney, and these two drivers who actually tied overall on points in the recent Mobile One Championship down at Mondello, which is where the next round of our championship will be coming from. They were so close, they tied on points, but the victory went to the lad from Limerick, John Maloney. He'd scored more outright victories than Dermot Carnegie. But Dermot it is, with the Total Oils car coming away. This is the ex-Peter Swipe rally car. Viewers in Yorkshire will have seen that only through the forests many times, I would think. Mick Quaife from Tunbridge, Davy Francis going extremely well. That's just a two-wheel drive car, you know, Alan.
Yes, that's right. It's a turbo, of course, for two-wheel drive, and a disadvantage here, of course, over the four-wheel drive cars.
But he's like so many of these lads from the north of Ireland. He drives very, very quickly indeed. Something happening out there behind the dust clouds, and what have we got? We have indeed got someone on the bank, and coming off, it's Dermot Carnegie. Dermot's got it wrong, completely wrong on that occasion. And the marshals quickly taking bits of bodywork and tyres and rubble, and that should have put this one into the lead then. That's John Maloney, car number 110. Comes from Limerick, went to garage for driver, used to drive Porsche, and now drives the 6R4, keeping a relative safe distance from him, the English domiciled man from County Leitrim, Aidan Cregan. Aidan there in second spot with his Cliff Humphreys powered car. This one using, like so many of the drivers, a Goodman's engine. This is the big engine too in the normally aspirated version here of car number 110. We see him here. This is John Maloney, not the youngest driver in the sport by any manner of means, but one who has been very successful over the past two seasons with this car. Another ex-rally car. Used to be used a lot in the Scottish Championships, but now finding a new home with these Group B cars in the world of Rallycross. And John Maloney is coming away. Ex-David Galander's car, that one, goes through over the finish line. So victory there in this B final for Formula A cars, and that puts him onto the back of the A final.
In fact, the red flag was caused by the fact that the Aidan Cregan car was in fact across the circuit, so that was the cause of the red flag.
Yeah, thanks for that confirmation, Alan. We're into the B final of Formula B. There you see the Ward Building System Sierra of Tony Proctor getting away very quickly. Derek Jobb in the act as well, but moving faster, it says on front, and it's certainly what's happening here for this man who's having a pretty useful run at the moment. Mick Mantell goes away into the lead then. Mick Mantell away into the lead. Mick Mantell. Tony Proctor, who's come into this race by virtue of winning the C final for Formula B. There goes 1, 2, 3. That's another one of the very quick Irish lads, Jimmy Heslip. Jimmy going away there from Newton Arts. But up front it is Mick Mantell from Aldermaston with the John Minty powered BDG Mark II Ford Escort, chased there by that Pinto powered Toyota Starlet that we saw earlier of Bill Barker, with Tony Prock up into third place then. Prock, who's come through from the back row of the grid into third place. The big man, the farmer from Redstone in Yorkshire, with the V6 24 valve 400 brake horsepower Sierra, which is a bit of a handful on a tight circuit like this. Mick Mantell going well. There we see Procky coming through. Backing for this series, or this meeting I should say today, also coming from P&O European Ferries, whom a lot of the drivers have travelled over here to be with us today from England. And as ever being made to feel very, very welcome by the warmth and hospitality of the Irish people, and of course also the superb organisation once again of the Lion Motor Club. Procky still sitting there in third place, still Bill Barker holding him off. To the best of my knowledge, it's the first time I've seen Bill Barker in a round of the British Series, as we get Jimmy Hislop in troubles. Jimmy Hislop in troubles there with his Escort getting away again. Car number 1, 2, 3. Jimmy in the 2-litre Escort pulling away to rejoin the race, but there's Bill Barker still putting a lot of pressure onto Tony Proctor. This Pinto engine in the Starlet must be giving a lot of brake horsepower away, and that is not just the job for Derek, number 30, sorry about the pun, but Derek Job spinning off there as he came up into the complex. Out of the chicane though comes Jimmy Heslip. Jimmy Heslip going away, but there's our race leader, Mick Mantell. You saw him in the Wet Brands hatch in December last year. Do you remember, Alan?
That's right, yes, at the TVS series last year, and very flamboyant because he was champion of Brands.
That's right, the two-wheel drive champion of Brands, and Mick Mantell it is, coming away, an import clerk by profession in the intermediate transport sponsored Escort. Engine on this car prepared by John Minty, the man who does the Barry Squibb and Gary Baker engines. But look at this man, Mr. Barker, Bill Barker, the garage proprietor from Omar, coming in to have a really close look now. But as they go to the flag, it is indeed Mick Mantell then winning this one from Bill Barker, with Procky in third place, Sam Crawford in fourth, as we go straight into the B final for the smaller cars, the Formula Cs. Roy Boy, of course, is on the back row of the grid, but away up in front it is indeed Bill Skirmer, I think, from Steve Bogg. Bill Skirmer from Steve Bogg. There we see the green and blue car of Alan Coates, but it is Bill Skirmer. Now this is the Peugeot 205 that was driven in rallying last year by John Milner. There's Roy Boy, of course, who's got to come through from the back of the grid to try and fight his way now into the A final. Just 6 cars at a time, you'll notice, here at Nuts Corner. That's all the track licence permits the organisers to start. With the tightness of the track and the power and the speed that these cars have got these days, that's perhaps not a bad idea. But there goes Bill Skirmer on his way in the C&M Joinery Peugeot 205. Only Bill's second outing in this car, and he's getting to grips with it very well indeed. Steve Bogg putting him under a lot of pressure, and up there in third place, I think we do indeed have Mark Proctor. Mark Proctor in third place. Roy Boy going on his way, the Dynetics team. But up front, it is still Bill Skirmer. Bill looking for a place in the A final. Still Mark Proctor in third. And the situation reversed that we saw earlier in our transmission in the heats, as he has Steve Bogg in front of him this time. And the two Novas chasing hard on the Peugeot. Very much the cars to have in Formula C, Alan,
yeah, I think
at the moment.
Yeah, with the Nova obviously in the hands of Mark Proctor. Done very well last year, being third overall in last year's championship. Sad to say his last outing, I'm afraid, in this car, but the Peugeot 205 in the hands of one John Milner, who you may have heard of. Do we see Bill Skirmer going to be challenging for the Peugeot Honours later on this year?
Let's hope so. And look at this. Oh, yeah, look at this. And Mark Proctor trying to come through on the inside of Steve Bogg. And Steve Bogg, we said they were mates. I wonder if they were. I wonder if they still are. They were. Yeah. Mark was diving for the inside line there, and Steve comprehensively moved over, and he closed the door. Did he close it? And Mark was onto the grass in order to keep a forward motion going. He tucked in once again behind Steve Bogg. So these two lads from Yorkshire having a tremendous battle, but that's all to the favour of Bill Skirmer. It's keeping them without striking distance of his lead. And Bill it is, who is a development engineer with the Austin Rover Group from Birmingham, comes on his way. Bill Skirmer, still the battle going on between the Novas for the second and third places. Still Steve Bogg with the advantage. Steve Bogg there from Moulton, near neighbour from Redstone, Mark Proctor. Still that smoke haze coming from Mark's car, but still causing no problems to the forward speed. That hasn't diminished at all. And Mark, who as I said, brought the car over here to try and sell it, goes on to his last lap now, onto their last lap. And we hear whispers that Mark Proctor is indeed thinking of emigrating to Australia later in the year. Stories of a season in karting before he goes over there, but later this year Mark is thinking of moving over to Australia. He's thinking of moving into third place if he can at the moment. A tremendous battle going on there as they move back and forth across the circuit. Steve Bogg trying everything he can to keep Mark Proctor behind him and succeeding, but it is indeed Bill Skirmer leading them away through the complex for the last time. Still Mark Proctor there chasing hard, trying everything he can to find a way through, but at the flag he hasn't managed to do it, and it's Bill Skirmer taking the victory with the Novas second and third. Yes, so Mark Proctor having to settle for third place there, but after the fraught problems in the car park this morning, he'll be pleased with that. And we can see that the Irishman Gavin Jess picking up a good fourth place with his Mini. Right, straight into the A final for the Formula A cars. The head-to-head battle here, Alan, between Stephen Palmer and Will Gollop.
Yeah, Will Gollop, of course, bi-turbo. Steve Palmer, of course, normally aspirated.
Yes, and Steve going up to the 3.8 normally aspirated engine. Will going the bi-turbo route with about 600 brake horsepower from the Cliff Humphreys engine. And it is indeed Will Gollop from Steve Palmer. Squibbly, then comes John Maloney. Then goes John Welch for the Sphere Drake Mobile car. And we join John inside the car there as we travel around the Nuts Circuit corner, or the Nuts Corner circuit I should say, chasing hard, but up front we can see that Will Gollop getting away a little bit from Steve Palmer. Still Barry Squibb holding a good third place, and of course Will Gollop came over here last year and took in this meeting at Nuts Corner where he won it. We know that during qualifying this afternoon, Stephen Palmer has just been the quickest by about a tenth of a second and has established a new track record here at Nuts Corner, but it's Will Gollop who's got the advantage at the moment. Will Gollop, it is still leading from Steve Palmer, Squibby in third place. Then comes the leading Irishman in this race, John Maloney in fourth spot. John Maloney in fourth, but it's Will Gollop away. The Cliff Humphreys prepared engine being used for the very first time in anger here at Nuts Corner this afternoon. And Will Gollop it is with the 600 brake horsepower at his advantage coming away, telling me this morning that if there's a weak point on the car at the moment, they think it's the front differential. And of course we're probably running also a fairly low boost this afternoon, anxious not to damage that car early on. We can see a bit of front end damage there to Steve Palmer's car, showing how close it was during the very early stages of this race, and indeed it's getting closer as I speak, because Steve closing in a bit there on Will, as Barry Squibb, who has managed to steer clear of punches this weekend so far, he hangs on to third place. And of course the new rule, Alan, in the championship this year is as soon as you enter an event you score points.
Absolutely right, that includes all the finals you're in and also the super final as well. So points, what do points make? Points make points.
Points make places.
So all important for this year's championship.
It is. Will Gollop came here last year, he won, but he was not a championship contender, and eventually the maximum points went to Steve Palmer, who finished second on the road. This year there'll be no slump for Steve Palmer to get the maximum points in this final today, and that's 20 in Formula A. We're looking for the results here. To get 20 points, he has actually got to be first past the flag, and that isn't happening at the moment. We've still got Will Gollop out there with the advantage as we get Dennis Biggerstaff going through. Again, a bit of front end damage as we can see Dennis chasing hard on John Welch there. Dennis, who is the leading Irish driver in the British Championship at the moment. I think that smoke's coming from a tyre rubbing on the bodywork rather than the mechanical problem, as Steve Palmer closes right in once again on Will Gollop. They go into the chicane there. You can see the paddock behind them, but it's still Will Gollop with the advantage, and at Nuts Corner it is very, very difficult to get through, very difficult to find a way through, and indeed it is still Will Gollop leading by now the very close margin, as Steve Palmer has claws right in. It's the lad from Kent versus the boy from Sussex, and it's the silk-clean car of Will Gollop just winning from the Practical Computers entry, as we go back quickly to see who is in third place, and that indeed is John Maloney from the Republic of Ireland. John Maloney home in third place ahead of Barry Squibb, but good result there for Barry, and it's good to see John Welch coming home with a useful result. Yes, John in fifth position, just out of the frame.
John Welch, in fact, experiencing turbo problems with the Astra, in fact, today.
And to Nuts Corner as our screen sport cameras continue to bring you the action from round 3 of the British National Championship, and we come back into the action with the A final for the Formula B cars. There we can see 34 Roger Newbold immediately getting it all wrong as he goes away up into the top of the first corner. It is indeed Brian Betteridge who's got the lead. Brian Betteridge away in the lead. Tony Vardy second place. Third place we can see is the very promising young Irishman Martin Elliott, but a terrific battle already beginning to break for the lead, and it is Brian Betteridge leading Tony Vardy. Now we know that Tony's car is not the quickest off the start line, but it certainly is a very quick motor car once he gets going. He knows the Nuts Corner very, very well because he comes over here to do the Belfast Ferries Championship, but at the moment he's sitting there in the second spot and he's going to have to try and find a way past Brian Betteridge if he possibly can. We've got a race on our hands here, Alan.
I think so. Tony Vardy, of course, current Formula B champion, looking once again to take the title for the second year, but just look at the way Brian Betteridge is holding the bay in that rear-wheel drive Mark Riesco.
Yes, and young Martin Elliott hanging on there extremely well. I hate GR forms, it says on the back. He's still got the two-wheel drive Mark II Escort, of course, and he's hanging on extremely well, this youngster from Northern Ireland, who's looked upon by many of the Rallycross fraternity as probably the most talented youngster in Northern Ireland at the present moment in time. And we can see him there, still in third place, but up front, it is still Tony Bardi trying to get this Vauxhall Dealer Sport car through on the inside of Brian Bettridge by hook or by crook. He will still lead the Formula B Championship of Great Britain, providing he finishes here in second place, but there's no way that on points that Bettridge can overtake him today, but to finish ahead of him on the road, of course, will certainly pull in 3 points. He'll get 20 points for winning, 17 for second place, so we have a 3-point advantage to Bettridge if he can take the victory here, and both of them, as you can see, are on the absolute limit as they come away through the twists and turns here at the Nuts Corner venue. Still Tony Bardi sitting there right, ready to pounce should Bettridge make the slightest error, but Brian Bettridge isn't making an error, and we can see behind them there's a marvellous battle going on between the Irishmen, and it is indeed Clive Richardson coming in to have a look for the third place there now. Clive Richardson battling it out with Martinelli, but up front the two Englishmen still very much at it. The boy from the Midlands, Brian Bettridge, versus the North Yorkshire driver from Scotch Corner, the North Yorkshire Rally Conversions prepared car, number 26, Tony Bardi. And Tony Bardi is putting all kinds of pressure still, and getting alongside Bettridge here. This is where he might do it, but no, he doesn't. Again, Bettridge got it, and Tony Bardi tries the other side. And again, Bettridge has got the inside line, and Tony Bardi tries the other side again. And again, Bettridge holds him at bay. Well, this really is fantastic stuff. Really is rallycrossing at its very, very best, because not only is it fast and close, it's also very clean as they come onto their last lap. Alan, I don't think he's going to do it.
No, I don't think so. The Nuts Corner's looking very, very tight indeed, and because the oversteer characters of the rear-wheel drive Escort of Brian Bettridge means that the understeering Astra of Tony Bardi has to give way on the inside of the corners. That's right, very wide Escort there at times for Brian Bettridge, and Brian Bettridge did his name with the advantage still as they come away. Brian Bettridge is going to win this one, I do believe. Brian Bettridge coming down, and there is the checkered flag, and yes, Brian Bettridge takes the victory for the first time this series. We've seen Tony Bardi defeated, so Tony dropping down to second place for the first time in the series, with the Irish drivers coming up in the third and fourth place as well. If an Irishman can beat this man who's sitting on pole position here now for the Formula C A final, he certainly will be going some, because that indeed is John Milner going away into an instant lead. John Milner there with the Peugeot 205, the door coming open on the passenger side door. Number 64 coming up strongly into second place. Number 64 there. That's Norman Jess from Drumore, but we can see that they go through. Bill Skirmer trailing the order there at the moment, but John Milner surely up front, and John Milner pulling away quite comfortably. John Milner pulling away from this fairly close battle going on there for the second place. Number 46, Lawrence Gibson coming in there with his Brian Slark powered men to have a look. Behind them we can see Cecil Haffey going well. Cecil Haffey indeed driving the car that Russell Spink won the championship in Formula C with some 2 years ago. Admittedly, a lot of bodywork replacement has gone on that car, but it is still basically the ex-Russell Spink car sitting there in fourth place, I think, as I speak at the moment. But it's Lawrence Gibson, number 46, putting a lot of pressure on number 64 as they come away, and it is indeed still Norman Jess from Drumore still holding that second place, but still a long way down on our leader here, number 50, John Milner. Very quick indeed. Watching through the corners, you'll find that his car control is absolutely impeccable. 21-year-old, and but nothing too impeccable there for number 64, Norman Jess, as he goes off onto the tyres. That's dropped him out of the running totally, and it's put a new look upon the leaderboard. But surely I would think we've still got John Milner in the lead as the Dynamics driver gets going once again. It is indeed up now into second place. Lawrence Gibson coming away then, car number 46. Lawrence Gibson with that blue and yellow Mini going away. We can see Cecil Haffey there in third place. Cecil Haffey coming up strongly in third place to challenge, perhaps, before this race is over. He in turn is hounded by number 29. That's Colin Rowley from the northeast of England, a coal merchant by profession, but really pouring coal onto the fire here is John Milner. And you can see that huge gap opening up now between John Milner and the rest of the field, and this young man really is in a class of his own, I'm afraid, at the moment in the Formula C Championship. And he was runner-up to Peter Rucroft last year as he two-wheels it there through the chicane and up towards the complex. It is still John Milner. Watch him come through here. John Milner, superb car control once again, driving for Peugeot Corporate Sport Team. Selected round the British Rally Championship as well as the Rallycross Series this year. As away goes Lawrence Gibson, we come back with John Milner, who goes now on to his last lap.
Johnny out there on his last lap then. He's going to retain his overall lead in Formula C. And of course, you may wonder why is he driving so quickly when he's well in command of this race. Well, the answer is, of course, the fastest cars from the A finals go forward to the super final. And certainly on this twisty circuit, John Milner is looking for super final and overall championship points if he can get them. He's already scored a maximum there then in Formula C today. Another 20 points. Behind him it's going to be an Irish battle as we get Lawrence Gibson leading home Cecil Happy with Englishman Colin Rowley home in 4th place. Right, Alan, into the Novas.
Bottom Novas challenge for the finals here at Nuts Corner. And we said this before, haven't we? Ian Evans, 35, straight into the lead. 120 there, Greg Borman, getting all manner of problems there as they're going through the complex, dropping down to virtually last place. But look at David Metcalf, already up in the second and chasing Ian Evans.
Yes, there goes Susie Brailford. Rob Coates, there's Greg Borman recovering. There's 191, Janet Devlin. Janet, who works for the Belfast Telegraph, going to be reporting on the action here this afternoon, driving the car entered by GM Exchange Units. Not a point-scoring car, of course. This one and the Metcalf car, we had to tell you, are celebrity cars. They're not eligible for points. And there is Colin Metcalf there in second place. But the familiar story up front, it's the white and pink car of Ian Evans coming away with Ian Metcalf still in second place. But we know Ian Metcalf will be doing everything he can and a little bit more to get on terms with the car of leader of race, leader of the series. That indeed is Ian Evans. Number 94, Susie Brailsford, the Texaco entry. Rob Coates getting a bit crossed up and letting Greg Borman come through. There comes Paul Coney in at the moment, last position. Paul Coney going through, but up front is still number 35, Ian Evans. 35, Evans away. Still Metcalf in second place. Have to lift off momentarily there. A bit of understeer, nearly taking him into the bank. Drops back a few lengths on our race leader as they come away over the start grid. Flick right onto the loose through the chicane. Left, right, flick again, back onto the tarmac, up into the complex. There we see Metcalf two-wheeling it, getting those Avens well and truly airborne as he comes through. Also, in fact, holding that second place.
David Metcalf this morning, in fact, had the steering head off this engine of this car twice during today's event. In fact, fixed it himself.
Well done. So as 94, Susie Brailsford, though, exits the race, at least momentarily, causing problems there also for Yorkshireman Rob Coates, as Paul Coney makes up a place. Car number 201, Paul Coney making up a place. We can see Susie trying to get the car back onto the circuit as Janet Devlin goes through. So the air hostess with British Airways flies off once again as we go back to join our race leader. It is 35, Ian Evans. And this, of course, is going to be his third consecutive victory, we think, then in the Nova Challenge Series here in the British Championship. Metcalf trying everything and a little bit more there in second place in car number 91. The car prepared down in Fleet, Hampshire by John Welch. As number 201, Paul Coney goes through, the mini-cross champion. We're back with Rob Coates, 331. Rob Coates, brother of Alan Coates, his first season with the Nova, obviously. Though he drove a Nova in Formula B prior to this, the leader going well on his way, on his last lap through the chicane, coming up towards the complex in front of the Vauxhall dealers here from Northern Ireland on this GM Dealer Sport Day for the last time. Lovely weather conditions, good crowd of spectators, thoroughly enjoying their motorsport as ever here in Northern Ireland. It's the lad from Ross-on-Wye in Herefordshire, Ian Evans, who continues his domination of the Nova Challenge, taking his third consecutive victory in the series. The celebrity car coming home in second place. That won't be scoring points, so it will indeed be the third car home on the road that gets the points, and that might be Greg Borman. Car number 120, Greg Borman, the next man up. Works for G-Tech down in Canterbury. And there you can see confirmation of that with Rob Coates in third, Dave Metcalf right
David Metcalf on that final, I believe.
I was jump start to put him down. Okay, Alan, thank you for that. As we join the Formula B cars again, and Formula A's as well, as we come then to part one of the super final, because this of course is a two-part race. We normally have the top 8 cars into the super final. We're only permitted, as I told you earlier, to start 6 here at Nuts Corner, which means that we have to run it in 2 parts. And as Brian Betteridge retired, we go back into the action of the thick of it with John Welch. We ride with John Welch there. We see a replay of what's happening here that put the Brian Petridge's car out, I think, but there we rejoin John live, and John, it is leading and Nuts Corner champion 24, Dennis Biggerstaff. Well, the winner of this race will, of course, go into the super final proper to be amongst the top 6 overall here. And at the moment, I think that might well be John Welch. Tony Bardi trying to score points. Martin Elliott going very well there also as we go on our way. Martin Elliott, and not often you see that car in a super final, but with 11 cars making a chance of the super final here on this once only 2-part running of it at Nuts Corner. It's a battle for the lead, and you saw at Brands Hatch a little while ago in our second round of the series that it got very, very close between these two lads. It's very close again, and John Welch is on his way. The car backed by Autosport magazine as well as Sachs and Kenwood Hi-Fi joining in with Sphere Drake and Mobile. A very, very highly sponsored package there. Tony Bardi in 3rd spot, we can see at the moment. As they come, Desmond Clive Richardson 976, but out goes Dennis Biggerstaff. Number 24, Dennis Biggerstaff goes out, rejoins very, very quickly, rejoins, but that has effectively cost him his battle for the lead, and he is overtaken there by 976, Clive Richardson going through. So John Welch is in the lead now, and the Vauxhalls go 1-2 as Tony Bardi comes up into 2nd place now. Tony Bardi up into 2nd spot on the road, but that's not going to put Tony into the top 6. The top 6 will be in the super final proper, and John Welch will be amongst them, so that will put Tony Bardi 7th overall here this afternoon. If he retains that position, John may well be up amongst the top runners at the moment, because he's going, we think, through into the top 6 in the super final. But meantime, as John brings the car down through Belfast Ferries corner, we look to see that we can, there is in 2nd place still Tony Bardi. Dennis Biggerstaff trying to fight his way through, putting up a huge dust cloud as he gets the 6R4 very sideways, but we're back with the 4-cylinder 630 brake horsepower turbocharged 4-wheel drive X-Track transmission Vauxhall Astra, this unique motor car of John Welch from Fleet in Hampshire, twice the British champion, for many years our top runner in Europe, but John concentrating very much upon the British Series this year, goes on his way to take the checkered flag, and we ride with him over the finish line. So John Welch it is, and up into 2nd place, a very good drive here for Tony Bardi. Martin Elliott with Dennis Biggerstaff clawing his way back to 4th. But there we see the crumpled front end of the car of Steve Palmer as we come to the super final proper. John rejoins them, of course, on the back row of the grid. So this is it once again, and Alan, between Will and Steve.
Once again, we've seen this before. Will Gollop in the lead with the bi-turbo 6R4, and Steve Palmer not exactly giving Will best now, hanging on to with the normally aspirated version of the same car.
Yeah, as they come out of Belfast Ferries corner, we can see Barry Squibb in 3rd place. John has come through very well into 4th place. John Welch from the back row of the grid up into 4th place. Will he be able to close on Squibby? Squibby driving the car formerly used to win the Motocross Grand Prix and European Championships by no less person than the Norwegian ace Martin Skanker. But Squibby having a good run there in 3rd place, and that's going to do Squibby a lot of good in the championship. That's going to take him up into 2nd place, I would think, overall. But this, of course, is the super final. Points for the super final championship remain separated from those in the class finals. And at the moment, Stephen Palmer is the overall leader of the super final and overall category. And the 2nd place here that he holds at the moment behind Will Gollop is going to be good enough to retain that position at the head of the points table. But Barry Squibb, who so many people said was going to be the dark horse of the series, once again proving what a quick man he is and how quickly he's transformed to the 4-wheel drive handling characteristics, having been 2nd to Tony Bardi in Formula V in the 1989 series. But it's still Will Gollop then with the bi-turbo 6R4 leading Steve Palmer's normally aspirated 3.8 version. There's Squibby in 3rd place, there's Johnny in 4th place. We go with John Welch and follow them away through that flick of Paddock Bend that leads down into Belfast Ferries corner, and out of Belfast already and out into the chicane comes Will Gollop. Will Gollop then comfortably in the lead. Comes from Canterbury in Kent, where he runs the Saab agency, has long been a supporter of rallycrossing here in Northern Ireland. Very popular man in the north, because he used to come over here for the old Boyd's Autodrome days years ago with his Saab. He's getting a bit of support here today from Northern Ireland Rover dealers Joshua White, and that's enabled the organisers to get Will Gollop here, and I'm sure he'd give a real crowd pleaser for the spectators, as of course is Steve Palmer, who arrived very late for today's meeting. The car delayed, I believe, at the ferry port, but it's great to see Steve back in contention, and these two men having a very, very close battle indeed, and it should be close between them, we hope, throughout the remainder of the year in the European Championship, which both of them will be contesting. That gets underway in Austria later in April, and Will and Steve are going to be our two top contenders there. They've both taken different routes to get the power. The big, normally aspirated version for Steve Farmer, the bi-turbo for Will Gollop, and there's not much between them at the checkered flag, with victory, outright victory here today, then going to Will Gollop from Steve Farmer. Scribbing in third place, we see John Welch coming home in fourth. Confirmation of that. And, well, what a great start for Will's campaign with the bi-turbo, Alan.
I think so, and the car will prove itself. In fact, gets a power down off the line, and here at Nuts Corner, all important.
Yes, and now then, if you'd like to join Rallycrossing and win a drive in a Nova Challenge race, you will be able to do so by entering our competition. We'll give you the question in a moment, but remember, that's the question: who won today's Nova final? Give us the name of the driver in the box all over in today's final. Send it in to us, and there's the address: P.O. Box number 31, Northwich, CW8 2XE. That's the Screen Sport Competition, P.O. Box number 31, Northwich, CW8 2XE. Who was driving the Nova here today? You may well be kitted out to drive a Vauxhall Nova later in the year. Well, Alan, it's been a great day's racing here in the north.
It has been good.
And our next round of the championship comes from the ultra-fast Mondello Park circuit.
Very different circuit. A very different circuit to today's.
Down in the Republic of Ireland. We'll be with you for that one. Please join us in just a few days' time. From us here at Screen Sport, goodbye.